been talking about a lot about going to cash, and there's going to be this correction in the market now. Who was it? So Garrett Soloway, love this guy. He's an amazing YouTuber. It's he's so intelligent, it's mind blowing. Look him up if you're interested. Economic Ninja and him, right? Economic Ninja, we all know he's one of the greatest, let's say, cycle predictors that's out there. So those two guys, a lot of the AI hoopla turned into a thing to where it looked very similar to the dot-com bubble. Now, as an investor, you got to have a certain thesis and an idea on where you're going to put your money, right? So when this thesis that you come up with, you take that idea and you go over and you look at the technicals. This is what I do. And so the technical indications of the broader picture it's kind of like a truth serum. And it's kind of like it leaves breadcrumb trails to whether or not your thesis is correct or incorrect. Don't be fooled, everybody. A good trader will recognize when their thesis isn't spot on, and they'll be able to say, my thesis didn't go the way I wanted it to. So it's either your thesis is proven or it's not proven. It's just like having a hypothesis in the sciences, right? With the psychology as well as the different chemistry and different sciences like that. But the two other gentlemen that I follow, and trust me, this goes my investing journey. I go in and out of following different YouTubers depending on where I'm at personally. Kenan Grace, Pops, thank you for introducing to me him. He's awesome. It's unbelievable because he used to be a high school teacher, just like myself. So I had some connections with him. But that guy's balling. He is balling. And then stock up with Larry Jones. So those two guys, Kenan Grace and Larry Jones, they started looking at numbers. And so I like the other day I saw Kenan talking about, look, if you look at these AI companies, a lot of people are comparing them to the dot-com bubble, but guess what? If you follow the money and you look at the numbers that are being the forward revenue that they've already got set up for money coming back in is massive. There's already documented revenue streams that come in that are way higher than the dot-com was a bubble because there was no underlying brick and mortar foundation of any revenue to come back, foreseeable revenue at least. AI is different. Okay, the money that's getting thrown into there is massive. So as a good trader, a good investor, you have a certain thesis and you learn from different people and you understand, okay, so my boy Garrett in Economic Ninja had this thesis of it's a dot-com, it's going to bust. Guess what? It might not be the same because Kenan and Larry Jones are talking about follow the money. There's massive amounts of money that are being dropped into these AI companies. Forward PE ratios are massive, so you can't really compare it. Go to the charts after you have a thesis, everybody. Guess what? The S&P 500 had this unrealistic, massive run-up that was very similar to the dot-com bubble. Guess what? When it breaks through that resistance level, comes back down and retests it, it turns into support. Guess what? When I get back to my trading desk, I'm going to show you guys what this chart looks like. That bottom support level has been tested 3 times. That makes it a very strong support level. So moving forward, guess what? The third time it hit that support level, we had another increase that bumped up. Now, this is the AI. This is the AI primarily because 15 companies control more than 50% of the market cap of the S&P 500. So we got to pay attention to those. So was my thesis correct or incorrect when I had been talking about get your money out of the AI sector because things are going to crash? It was seemingly incorrect at this point because we have a stronger support level to keep moving up. So, look, you have to recognize when your thesis is correct or not correct. And that's what I'm sharing with you today, everybody. Now that I look at this and I started watching Garrett, look these guys up. They're amazing, knowledgeable investors. You're going to learn a lot. Okay, if you look these guys up, I'm just sharing some of the information that I've been studying and looking at. and then go to the charts, the technical indicators. By the way, I got a trading view link down there. It's the best charting service out there. Trust me, I've tried tons of them. This is superior, and just know, don't get scammed. This is the right link below here. So, hey, thanks for checking in, everybody. Just want to share that. Look those guys up. Check that trading view link. And then I honestly believe that I am going to deploy a little bit more of my capital back into these AI sectors, because there's no indication that there's going to be a massive crash. Now, they're overvalued. Okay, everything's expensive right now. So the market in and of itself in general is overvalued. So do look at the valuations of those individual companies, and don't buy it if it's up towards that 52-week high. You want the 52-week high and low levels for the current trading price to be somewhere in the middle or below that 50% range. So these are just things that I've learned. And, you know, this comes into play, too, if you're doing some of the safer plays like selling covered calls and things like that. But honestly, there's so much money going into these data centers and the construction. There's a massive amount of... I'm in the construction industry, so I see this. These GCs and the builders are overwhelmed with the amount of money that's getting thrown at them to build these data centers. So that's saying something. Remember, buddy, follow the money. Follow the money, and then we can make more educated decisions from there. So anyway, thanks for checking in, everybody. If you would give me that thumbs up, please, and then we'll go from there. Appreciate the comments. I got a couple comments here. Let me check. Awesome. Okay, I'm gonna keep moving on this and let you know I'm getting bored, man. I got money on the sideline. I got to do something. I'm going crazy. I'm going crazy because, you know, it's a 0% thing coming in. But let's stay at it. Keep your studies going, and we'll see how it plays out. All right, everybody. Thanks for checking in. All right, peace out.